What makes you feel most vulnerable?
What makes me feel the most vulnerable? When I can tell people this is so basic, but really when I really need a minute and I don't understand something and I can just tell people that I need a minute to understand this is like a really, really vulnerable moment for me to experience. And it happens so many times in a day, it's funny because we do not say, I don't know enough. And I think that's really vulnerable to me.
I'm so excited to be the one introing Kubbra because she's one of my best friends. I've known her for so many years, and I've seen her journey from when she was living out of her tiny little apartment and I was coming to visit her in India, and she was hosting a lot of shows and she was doing so well, but she was working her ass off, not sleeping, hustle, 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 to now being this like global sensation. Like she goes anywhere and people know, they know who she is and they know her for her art and her work. And do you know what they know her for the most? The fact that she is so herself and so raw and real. And you saw that today.
Yeah, it was really cool to see her get really vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, you never know, because I had not met Kubbra before. I've just heard a little bit about her from Natasha, and we intentionally try not to learn too much about each other's guests when they come on, so that like one of us can kind of have that like organic, authentic viewpoint and ask questions, you know, that you might not otherwise think of if you know something already. And so I came into it really raw and real, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. I mean, we were filming Danielle's episode, which is the episode before this one, where Kubbra was sitting behind the camera watching us, and we just had to invite her on because she was like sitting there resonating so much with what we were talking about, and we were going so deep. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, this is going to be another really good episode.
Yeah.
And I just love how it goes to show that our energy attracts that energy, because so much of our network is that. I mean, we don't like the small talk. We want to go deep right away.
Yeah.
And I'm just really grateful that we have people like that in our lives and that we get to, I don't know. I was just, I was blown away with this conversation, and it makes sense. You've been friends for so long, and it's so cool to see. I didn't get to see the glow up the whole time, but it's really cool to hear about where you were and where you guys are now. It's beautiful.
It's a constant glow up though. Like I'm going to see her a year later and be like, oh my goodness. Because
it's still a journey, right?
It's a journey.
But the way that she was able to talk about narcissism,
the
way that she was able to take like accountability for her growth that was necessary, which is what every single human needs to do. Like I know I'm a big one-liner person, we both are, but it's like your trauma is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. And she took responsibility, she saw it, and she did the work, and then all of a sudden
exactly.
And that's what happened. I was reading something the other day. It was like, if you are doing everything that you can to make your dreams come true, or you don't know what your dreams are, either way, like stop everything immediately and turn inward and look at like what needs to be addressed within yourself. What are you in denial about? What are you not looking at internally? Because the universe like will block things until you unlock them.
It's so true.
I don't know.
So true. And honestly, I was so proud of her today for doing that, because
incredible.
Wow, that was tough.
I know she told me just now when we went and, you know, took some photos with her and stuff. It's like, she was like, no one's asked me ever how a role impacted me emotionally or anything like that. And I'm like, it's so true. It's like, everyone's like, oh, what are you wearing? Who are you wearing? You know, stuff like that. And it's like, who fucking cares? I mean, there's a time and a place. Don't get me wrong. I love fashion. But and this episode was amazing. So please enjoy, and we'll see you all at the end.
And buy her book.
Absolutely.
I love that. Mark is happy with that. He's like, yes, say more.
I'm just excited for this episode. It's the final one of the year.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it is.
You're the final shoot of the year. How do you feel?
That is amazing. This is really, really good. It's also a lot of pressure.
No.
Coming from you?
You're hosting now. You're an incredible actress.
Yeah,
You're-
I'm still the last episode. This better be good.
It will be.
I mean, you send me your professional bio, and I'm like, I'm not doing this.
I'm
Go
lucky.
Google me.
Go Google me. But don't you want your bio to be written in your words, or do you not care?
You know, this is the interesting thing. Ask me to talk about myself, and I will stumble.
Is it
and-
uncomfortable?
No, it's not uncomfortable. I just have done so much. I think at some point people are like,
Yeah.
really?
Like maybe the bio's too
Yeah,
long.
but you know what happened? I asked
It's an essay.
ChatGPT. It is. And then I asked ChatGPT to write a professional bio for me. I was blown away.
Isn't
Oh, yeah.
he amazing? He, she,
They, them.
them.
Yeah. All of the above.
ChatGPT blew my mind.
Yeah.
I asked
Pretty impressive.
ChatGPT very politely to write me a bio, a profesh bio.
Yeah.
And they even covered the fact that I was an advocate for mental health. And speaking about that, I'm a part of the LGBTQIA movement in India. And you don't think about these things.
Yeah.
And now they're like, what? ChatGPT picked this up from just everything that I've
That's
spoken
amazing
about on
and
the
such
internet.
important points.
So proud of you.
It just blew. It did. Thank you, baby.
I'm
But
so
it did
proud of
blow
you.
my mind. I said, "Wow, you're doing all this, and you don't even realize that it is registering somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think that, oh, I'm just an entertainment. No.
You make a
There is so
difference.
much more that's happening. I think when you're least paying attention.
I couldn't agree more. I like being public facing is new to me still. Like I'm 3.5 years into being a beauty director. Prior to that, I was behind the camera. So like I'm blown away by the impacts that I can sometimes make on people that they express to me, because I'm like, oh, my Instagram following isn't that big. Oh, I'm just like a Sephora Beauty Director. So only like beauty junkies know who I am, like the hardcore. But I'll go speak on a panel and now people will come up and they'll cry with me. They'll tell me their stories. And you imagine that platform growing and the reach growing and how many people you're touching. It's just, it's wild.
Yeah,
It's wild.
How does that make you feel?
Really
now,
confused. At first,
know?
really confused.
Yeah.
Write your
Super
bio,
confusing.
And do you understand how that can be?
Yeah.
You're
Of
just
course. You're like,
who
what do I
am
say?
What is this platform?
But I was a marketer first. So I did copywriting, I managed our social platforms, and I would write about our talent. So I think I knew how to write about myself, like how to brand myself.
that is so cool.
It was
Can
helpful.
you teach me? That's awesome.
It was helpful.
Do you know what I do? I actually have a deck of bios catered to each person that's interviewing me. So for example, if it's focused on mental health space, then it's focused on that.
that's
If it's
smart.
focused on business, so I just send the whole deck. I'm like, you choose what you want to say about me, and we have different options.
Yeah, like
it
what
just helps.
points are we connecting on?
Yeah, Natasha the entrepreneur, the philanthropist, the whatever,
That's true. I do have a different bio as a beauty director than I do as like my personal work.
This is so cool. Okay,
We'll
good.
make it for you.
We'll help you.
I really appreciate this. You know,
Of
the
course.
thing is that, wow, like this feels like we're just going straight into the middle.
That's how we do.
We dive right in.
It's so amazing. Like, I've told Moore this for so many years. Like, learning how to appreciate to have a girlfriend in your life comes very, very recently to me. What is very natural to just girls, even the girls that I grew up with, even the girls I see in the city, even
Yeah.
the girls that are in my industry, even the girls I've seen in different parts of the world, girls are a formidable part of who they are and their personality. And for me, I've been only now gravitating towards this friendship. So when I see that how you have made this world so simple, just by watching out, already preempting the journey ahead, like, I think men don't do that. We literally go out there like, I've done this in my head,
Right.
where
We're
I go
forward
out and
thinking.
yeah,
Planners.
yeah, right. Like I go out and I go like, oh, I finished the job, and that gives me a pat on the back. But no one ever taught me how to get the job done. And when I see you guys, saying, oh, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. And I'm like, oh my God, can you teach me how to do that?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, this is already a system that exists. I just didn't know how to tap into it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like for me emotionally, she's seen me like, she's reminded me about my superpowers so many times. And only then I realized, oh, this is what girls do for each other.
Yeah.
You need
Absolutely.
Yeah, otherwise I've been broing.
that. You've been growing your whole life,
I've been
actually.
growing my entire life.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you.
I'm so grateful that you're
so happy.
here.
I've heard so much about you from Natasha.
Heard so much about you.
But more
bro.
personally, more personally than professionally. So like, and we try not to like learn too much about each other's guests.
Yeah.
So like, even though I had to find you on Instagram and connect, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna look that far into it because I want to be like really organic and fresh and be able to ask you questions that other
so
people might
refreshing.
have, you know?
Yeah, actually, she has
This is
no
so
clue about
refreshing.
your
You're
crazy
so cool.
stories.
And then I heard you sitting from back there, learning about your journey.
Yeah.
This is amazing. You're very.
It's a wild ride.
I remember writing a memoir, and I remember trying to just tell my story as much as possible, as clearly as possible. And there was this one moment in which my editor was reading through and said, "Are you sure this is your story to tell, or is this someone else's story to tell?"
Huh.
Because yes, it integrates into your life. You reached out, you made whatever little difference you could in that moment, in that time. But is this your story to tell? And no one had ever asked me that question before. Because we as entertainers or public personalities usually cross those blurry lines and go from one person's life to another. That I think it's true. Like today, there is nothing called, oh, I created this.
Right.
This is mine. But yeah,
So was this story like very much so?
it was like your tryst with life and not. And I really liked what you said about how the moment of choosing not to live comes to you in many, many moments across the board. And if you're not doing anything about it, then that is a red flag. Even if
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope, and yeah, you can have those thoughts, but thoughts become action when you're in that much pain pretty
Yeah.
quickly. And so it's
yeah,
you think about people who don't have support systems or resources, which I had both, and it was still so difficult for me. It's hard.
it's incredible you spoke about that.
Yeah,
It's
thank you.
important.
The more that I speak about it, the more I feel like it heals me. So as much as I can sit here and be like, oh, I really want to help other people, I don't want other people to feel this way. That is 100% true, but it also helps me heal by trying to help others. Like my mental health advocacy, I'm like, I'm still on this journey. Like I'm not sitting here pretending that I know better than anyone else. All I can express is like my experience.
Yeah.
But I think the more that we can be vulnerable and connect with one another, the more comfortable we feel in our own skin.
That's true.
That is true.
And
And that's
when-
how you made me feel from there.
Thank you.
Oh,
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. So you do mental health advocacy as well. Can you tell us a little bit about your mental health journey? If you want to go there, we can go a different direction.
No, I think for me, it's been this constant pressure of you're fine, you're strong, you're brave, you're bold. That I don't think I ever like really took a moment to ask myself to check within if I was really doing okay.
Right.
And from what I understand and learn today, mental health and the trauma that you carry, the weight of depression that one may carry also is passed generationally to us, right?
yeah.
And we don't take time to address that. We don't even know we have it
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we're coping, we're surviving every day. So I feel like it was a bit different when I learned that I was struggling.
Yeah, because you don't even know.
You don't even know. But there were a couple of things that happened at home wherein I said, I am so brave. I'm so courageous. I'm so bold. I'll go start seeing a therapist so that I can normalize it for people in my personal surroundings. I really felt like I could normalize this for everyone else because, I'm awesome. I got no issues. World is.
Yep.
So I went there with that feeling, and I was so amazed by how much I was like shoving under the rug.
Yeah.
You know, it was crazy. I had become so good at making excuses for the way I felt.
Yeah.
And no, there was nothing wrong, but I just didn't know when that mountain of lies is going to crumble on my own head. I didn't know, and I always used to, walk around saying, "Oh, I'm very angry. I'm a short-tempered person. That's who I am.
Yeah.
Just don't. How hard is it? No, I just didn't know how to regulate my wheel of emotions
Yeah.
in a way that I know now what is happening in my body. Because by the time I realized the dial was completely up, I was completely out of character, out of my body, out of my breath. And then it would hit me, this is not me.
Right.
So I need to now go out there and apologize and make people feel better. And then this was like a trap that I was
Yeah.
through a series of tests I did. I learned that we all have these buckets of emotions, and some we recognize as positive, some we recognize as negative. But I feel it's really important to have all of them and have them in measure so that the equilibrium of your chemical disposal is good. Now, here's the interesting thing. I learned that I had narcissism in me. And that's when I realized that I'm not sitting here pointing fingers at everyone else. What can I do to fix my life with this?
Can I ask a question real quick?
Please.
How did you recognize the narcissism in you? Was that through the testing? Because
Yeah.
okay, because I was going to say most I'm pretty familiar with narcissism, and most times narcissists, as part of the part of being a narcissist, you're incapable of recognizing
Yeah.
the narcissism in you.
Yeah.
And so there usually has to be an
yeah.
external force that kind of
Yeah.
tells you or redirects you. How
Yeah.
was that to receive, though?
I think at that time I was
Could you
really
digest
hitting
that?
rock bottom, and I wanted to do something about
Okay.
this.
Yeah.
And I was really curious now. It was like
You were like, I have nothing to lose. I'll
I
if
have
you're telling me
nothing to
this, I'll
lose.
take
This is
it.
so interesting because what happened was I was on my own shooting a project out of the country. And it was the first time during the pandemic. And I've been a traveler for a very long time in my life. But this time it was just a little more difficult than other times because this was prolonged. It was COVID, so it was scary. I was pretty much in isolation, but in a different country.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I would just wear a mask, go to work, finish it, and come back. So it was really interesting. It was truly shaping me with a lot of force. And that's the initial time that I was speaking to my therapist. I was doing my sessions very regularly,
Yeah.
once every week. And I was traveling. So I had a lot of time to sit around and process that whole thing. So when I saw that in that chart, narcissism was like, so say you know how you have that markers, right? So say if 6 is a good number to have, say I had 7.5.
Okay.
For me, it was alarming.
Yeah.
You can very much
Yeah.
live, right? Also, that was the time when I found this book called Unmasking Narcissism. Now, here's the interesting thing. 2 people were reading the book at the same time. And it was really interesting to watch how the approach of what that book meant to each one of us personally. When I was reading the book, interestingly, I was like, oh my God, I behave like this.
Okay.
Oh my God. It seemed to be an external push for me to see what not in the situation. We all believe that we are good people. and we carry goodness, and the intent is not to hurt people. Right?
Of
Yeah.
course, yeah.
But it was so interesting that the other person who was reading the book was like, this is how they behave. This is how they react. This is how that happens. And I felt it was so external. I said, no. I want to shut this noise
Yeah.
and really figure out okay, I'm sure that the world is not being fair or is being, is kind of like pushing me in a direction which makes me feel like I need to react this way. Fair enough. But I don't want to react this way. I want to learn more about myself. And I want to be better to me, and I want to be better to everyone else. So it was a conscious decision at that time to do that. And I guess that's where the journey of my mental health started.
Was the other person reading the book on the narcissism spectrum?
You know, it's so easy for us to label people these days.
Yeah, and I don't
So
want to
I
diagnose.
don't want to do that.
They
I
were
think
not
that-
diagnosed.
Yeah, they
Okay,
were not
okay,
diagnosed.
okay.
I don't know if they are.
Yeah.
But if the thing is that if that's what I felt, it was my responsibility to me
Yeah.
to not be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know that I mean, being at the receiving end of that is not fun. Like being at the receiving end of the wrath of narcissist is not
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
So then, how do you pick yourself? So some things like that propelled me into this. Then the ayahuasca happened. So that opened me a lot more. I just became very, very curious
Yeah.
about emotions. Today I've gone and finished a session of healing, which was my last session of healing. Yeah, for 2024.
Yeah.
So I feel like I can now step into.
You look like you're just fucking glowing.
Yeah, you're glowing.
You can feel it.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to say, like, it's pretty very impressive for someone to have narcissistic characteristics or be on the spectrum, and I'm definitely not one to diagnose at all, but however you want to describe how you were at that moment, to be able to come out of that is pretty miraculous.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of therapists, and it is a spectrum, and so I don't know where you lied on it, but I've had therapists that I've spoken with that have told me, there is no cure for narcissism. And so
You usually cut and run.
well,
usually cut and run.
and they often don't accept it. They're
You
they're
cannot
in
tell
such
a narcissist that they are.
Yeah.
exactly. All you can do is practice boundaries and choose whether or not you want them in your life.
Thankfully, I couldn't run too far away from myself. I had to get close to myself, and that
Yeah.
I guess was the reason why this was more. This wasn't coming from anyone else.
Yeah,
This was coming from me.
your rock bottom.
Yeah, this was coming from my rock bottom, and you don't realize you're at the rock bottom.
Yeah.
That's the interesting thing. During the pandemic, when I had a close family member of mine say that they were dealing with depression and they wanted to end their life, is when, again, it startled me and I wanted to have that conversation about, when a lot of people, so I've seen this on social media, a lot, right? Like, when you lose someone you love, everybody gathers around together and then says, oh, now that person's gone. But on the internet, once they're gone, it's like, I wish you had spoken to me, brother. I was always there for you. My friend, I wish you only spoke once. And all of this started kind of really troubling me because I said that I got that phone call and I didn't know what to do. Maybe that's why people don't call each other.
You got the phone call from the friend who was struggling and
Yeah.
you didn't know what to do.
I didn't know what to do. I mean, I tried to do my best at that time, but I don't think I could have handled it if that call were to happen another time.
And that's not your fault. I've been certified in mental health crisis training.
Yeah, so I did a course of that suicide prevention
So now you know.
later.
It's like
Yeah.
I recommend anyone who has friends who are struggling, which is literally everybody.
Everyone. Yeah.
I recommend it. It's free. You can do it online, and it's
recommend
in less than a day. I think it was like half a day. Good for you.
What did you learn from it that was so key, a key point?
You can't get caught up in their emotions at this point. That's one, to be able to separate how they feel from the moment that it is.
Okay.
So asking them if you can do anything for them right now. asking them to change their state, go get water, like to move into the flow state that we were talking about. So just to hear water.
Okay.
Sensory stuff is really big.
Sensory stuff. So also then, the whole like name the 3 things that you can see, 5 things you can smell, 4
Okay.
things you can touch. So engaging all your sensory nerves in that sense of smell, sight,
Okay.
hearing. So that's another thing. And I think the most important thing, as you said, is that, and beyond that phone call, if you weren't still able to do your best, it's okay. It's not on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
That's something that they leave you with as well.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. Thank you for being interested.
Absolutely.
Because most people go out there to save other people,
Yeah.
and then they aren't able to save themselves.
Gosh, I haven't even thought about it in that way. Like, how many people probably do mental health crisis training because
Yeah.
they have a suicidal friend or family member, or they have lost one and they're scared of it happening again. The amount of
Yeah.
pressure that people probably put on themselves. I've had so much suicide around my life. I had like 3 suicides in 2 years close to me. And I didn't even weirdly do it for that reason. It almost felt more personal. But I think if maybe you, like we've both been through it, it is kind of personal.
It is possible.
Yeah, or we
Yeah.
all have been through it. Yeah. Wow. Well, super powerful. And thank you for sharing that. Like, it's not easy to own up to narcissism because it has such a stigma around
Yeah.
it. And so I think it's really
So proud of
amazing
you.
that you're willing to take accountability and show people that you can
I
have
wrote
that
about
and
it
move.
in the book as well.
What was the book's
Tell us
name?
about your book.
Open
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, tell us about the book. Open book? That's a fantastic
Right?
name. How was
Because
that
she
not
is an open
taken?
book. Exactly.
Was that
How
not
was that not
taken?
taken? I don't know.
Because
You're a
Kubbra took it.
genius.
Yeah.
Open book is an incredible memoir name.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I've always said that you aren't asking the right questions. And it's really interesting because most times we think we're asking the right questions, but then that conversation's flat and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I felt like I had so much time that I could ask myself those questions that were shaping me to be the person I am today. I'm
Only-
very proud
Yeah.
of the person that I
Only
am.
you know. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I am very, very proud of the person that I am. I'm very grateful I have friends who remind me that more than once.
Yeah.
But then, you tend to be like, oh, I'm Leo. This comes to me naturally. I know I'm awesome.
Are you a Leo?
Thanks.
I'm a Capricorn, but Leo. So I have a lot of Leo placement, and I agree. I think
You're a very strong
as a
sun sign
Leo,
too.
it comes easier.
Yeah, you're very like you will speak for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's so amazing to be reminded as well because you don't know how much of this is the truth. And how
Oh,
much
yeah.
of this has been lies.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's so wonderful to like meet your friends who can like remind you that and stuff like that. Why was I saying that?
Book.
Book.
Open book.
Yeah, so I wrote my book because I was able to ask myself some of the questions
Yeah.
about what might have been the key factors to have influence change upon me. Because I do know, and it's really baffling for my boyfriend sometimes to understand when I tell him that I'm not this person. I was not always this person.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel
I
you.
was very
Yeah.
different person.
Yes.
Yes.
Now I am very different person.
Yeah.
How can things happen magically? It really does feel like magic.
Yeah, it does.
Same. Pre-pandemic me,
Yeah.
after my meltdown,
Yeah.
I don't know what I call it, after my rock bottom, Natasha didn't know me before.
Yeah.
And I tell her, I'm like, I was a completely different person.
It's hard to believe.
Did you know her? Did
Yes.
you know each other before?
We've known each other.
You went through that transformation?
Yeah.
Did you notice a like
Yeah,
what?
no,
did
Yeah,
you
I think
see?
we both noticed a difference
Yeah.
because we also didn't speak for a while, not for any reason, but just like, I guess we were working on ourselves.
Sometimes
right?
you have to go inwards.
And then we realize that there are certain people in your life that come back to your life because you've done that work and you're like, oh, we're so aligned. Whereas people just tend to drop off because they're not part of the same wavelength as we are. So that's probably why we instantly, when we came back to being friends, it was like, oh shit, you get me and I get you.
Yeah.
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 That's amazing.
Yeah, it's yeah.
You both had to go become little
Yeah.
caterpillars. Is that what becomes a butterfly?
Yeah.
It's been a while since I took science.
We've since I took science.
My science is now skincare ingredients.
That's true.
So was the main theme of your book just your journey? It was truly your memoir and transformation.
Yeah. It was
Oh, I
really,
can't wait to read it.
Tell us about some of the shows that you've done, the movies that you've done, the exciting things that you've done that have shaped you to be the person that you are today.
This is so cool. Like, this is so cool. This is so cool. So I've been a professional actor, like where I feel like, oh wow, I'm doing some incredible work, something that I can sink my teeth into and really enjoy and really trip on, like genuinely, like going to like, oh, had a great day at work. I'm gonna sleep.
Oh, I love that.
Like those kind of days.
Yeah.
Started happening for the last 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
But I've been in the business, so to speak, for the last 15 years.
Okay.
And I think the first big role that really like popped me into the stratosphere and be like, oh, you are an actor. And I didn't even have to say, like, I was struggling. I wanted people to recognize me as an actor. But the day I broke into this space and became an actor, I wasn't telling people I was an actor. People were like, you're an actor, yeah? And I was like, oh my God, yeah? And that realization came to me a little late. It was this show called Sacred Games. It's on Netflix. I play a transgender woman in the show. And that show changed me in more ways than one.
Wow.
I mean, I've had my most vulnerable moments on screen. It was really interesting how it was shot because the most vulnerable scene in the film is also a frontal nudity scene.
Wow.
And we also shot that on the first day.
Wow.
So
Oh my
talk
gosh.
about, like going
First day.
truly beyond your fears
Yeah.
and straight into the deep end
Wow.
and then walking out of that.
Had you ever done any nudity before?
No,
Wow.
no. But
Yeah.
I did
That
break
must
up
have
with
been
a
scary.
boyfriend once because he said, so you will kiss on screen. I said, but no one's asked me to kiss on screen, man. I said, but will you? I said, I don't know.
Tricky guy.
So then,
Wow,
I'm
that's
sure you would not have
impressive.
been okay with frontal nudity.
Yeah. Also,
So
just
we aren't
our
together.
culture, Indian, like it's not done. You don't even kiss on screen
Right.
back in the day,
Back
but
in
now.
the day, it was just flowers.
Oh my gosh. Did you receive a lot of hate for that?
I received a lot of love
Good.
from the community, and I'm someone who focuses on love. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I focus a lot on the
That's
love.
all you can do when you're putting yourself out there like
Yes. If I didn't own what I was doing, I would have been under the bus. And
Yeah.
I did own up to this. And I'm very, very grateful that I did. I'm very grateful that my family stood by me at this point as well. Also, 7 years ago is when people really started coming out of the woodworks. I feel to speak about what they thought about movies and things like that. Like the whole influencer thing.
Social media.
And social media.
Yeah.
It was like, I think still like, I remember being like having like 30,000 or 40,000 followers. And then, which is like a really big deal, I thought.
Yeah, of
for
course.
a host and everything. And then overnight it went to 100,000.
Wow.
I remember that.
200,000.
Dude, I remember that moment. I called you and I was like,
And was that a result of the?
I called you to tell you I was doing the show even.
yes, I remember that.
I see.
Sorry,
I
just
was
bringing
buying
back.
fancy
Wait.
headphones.
Wait, brain meltdown. How did you meet?
We were at a wedding
Yeah.
and she was
Oh, that's right,
hosting
that's
the
right.
wedding and
Okay.
I was doing the
Did
makeup.
we said that in the episode
Yeah.
with Danielle when we were teasing your episode. Okay. Just I had to remind myself. Okay.
We know each other for a very, very
15
long time.
years.
Very
you
long
said?
time. 13, 15, I
Somewhere
don't
around
even
there.
know.
13,
A
15.
while.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the first one and a big moment,
That
obviously.
was a big one. I played this. There's a movie I played a hairdresser in. It's called Jawani Jaane Man. It's a Hindi film. So I
Okay.
work both, like in Hindi films and in American TV shows.
Okay.
I've done both. So this was a film with Saif Ali Khan, and I play one of his friends, but his confidants. And who better than a hairstylist to be your confidant?
Oh, for sure.
And I felt so good
intimate.
about that. Yeah, I felt so good about that because in that film, she says, I think I know after a divorce, after this, after that, I just know what I don't want in my life. And that's one of the lines that sticks with me.
Yeah.
Because that was like a really, really interesting line. Because we don't know what's not okay with us. And I guess once you're like refining that, like the law of reduction, like
Yeah.
this is working, this is working,
Yeah.
this is not working, not working.
Yeah.
Nice. I guess the basic like work around how you make decisions gets a lot easier when you can learn how to say no.
Yeah.
So I thought that I learned from that character. Then I played Farah in a TV series called Foundation, which is on Apple TV.
I have seen some of Foundation. It was so good. I love that kind of movie, that type of
love
show.
science fiction.
I love
I didn't
sci-fi.
realize
Now you have
that
to
I was a
rewind and
science
see her
fiction.
in it.
Oh no, I know, because like as soon as she said that you were coming and we were going to meet and you were going to be on the podcast, I told you like I found you. I looked a little bit, but like we try not to learn too much about our guests. But I saw that you were on Foundation. I saw a photo of you from it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I watched that. So I do have a connection for
She's
sure.
really cute about stuff like this. She stopped someone on a plane, right, who was watching Foundation. She was like, "That's me."
Yeah, I took a video of them watching.
You know, actually,
Yes.
I watched it. I watched it because you were posting about it, and I was like, I love sci-fi. Like, I'm gonna give this a try, and it was so good.
Thank you. She plays a very evil person in that. But I guess it takes that kind of passion to do anything in your universe. What I really like about villains, and we don't talk about
Ooh, I
it
love
enough.
this.
Yeah.
What I really love about villains is that in their head, they are the hero of their story.
Yeah.
They really are.
Maybe
their
there's a
own
connection
heroes.
to narcissism, right?
Yeah.
Because narcissism can be, I don't want to say
Like,
that they're
for example,
villains,
you
but
read this, right? Like, terrorists are narcissists. Like, you will see there are certain places, certain professions where it's, again, it's on the spectrum, right? But then you will see that it's more in certain places
yeah, sure.
than in other places.
Sometimes like the top business people, executives, CEOs, billionaires.
Yeah.
Because narcissism is one hell of a thing. When you believe in yourself that
Yeah.
much,
Yes.
I mean, that can really drive you to accomplish
sure.
so
Yes.
much.
For sure.
Yes.
I mean, if I had that self-belief, I feel like I'd be much further than I am now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, I don't know. Can we discuss this character that we saw on the show Succession, the father?
Yes.
I haven't watched Succession yet. I'm
That's
sorry.
a
I
great
haven't watched-
example.
Okay, we're not going to tell you anything.
That's
No,
a
but
great
tell me,
example.
tell me. I want to watch it, so it's okay.
No, but
all the time you have?
Isn't Logan like really narcissistic?
You know, Succession is on my honeymoon list. Like I really
love it. No, you're really gonna love it.
The
honeymoon-
honeymoon staycation where you're hosting your entire family for Christmas.
Yes, but it's been fun. We'll kick everyone out soon.
There's no judgment. I know you
I
love
know.
it and it fuels you.
It does fuel me, but I do really want to just sit and chill.
Yeah.
Like I
Nice.
want to
Please
just watch
chill.
TV.
Can you please
Yes,
chill?
you are all three friends that say the same thing to me.
Can you please chill?
Well, now Mark doesn't. Now Mark is like on my wedding day, like, hey, can you film this video for Natasha Moore Cosmetics? I'm like, it's my wedding. We didn't do it.
We never filmed.
I know. I'm
We'll get
sorry.
to that tomorrow before I leave.
Wow. Please, you have to chill.
I know.
This is nice.
I know. I will.
So playing
Back
a
to you.
villain, you love it?
I loved it. I loved it.
You're a
loved
good
it.
villain.
I'm not that. Thank you, baby.
You're a
No,
great
I'm
villain.
not. I'm not that guy. But to be able to play something
fun.
so
yeah. I think,
Yeah.
I
with
think
that
I would like it.
intensity,
Yeah.
I love playing these different characters.
I
because-
bet.
Yeah, it's so amazing.
What's a
Like,
role you don't want to play since you know what you don't want?
you know, it's interesting. I think as an actor, I want to play everything that comes my way.
Okay.
I don't want to say no, but I think I would be most petrified and skeptical to play. I will go past that fear, but I think I have trouble playing horror films and watching horror films.
Yeah.
Really? I
Yeah.
would have never thought this of
I don't
you.
know. Maybe I'll be wearing like dead fleshiness on my face, going like, and having the best.
I feel
time
like
of
you'd
my life.
kill it. Are you kidding me? You'd be so good at that.
I don't know. Maybe I'll just be laughing my way through it.
Maybe you could do one of those like comedy horror
My eyes
films.
go at the back and everything. I don't know. But I think that's one thing that I'm very, very scared to play comedy. But I've just played a comedy film.
Oh, something upcoming?
Yeah, next year, 2025, which I'm really excited about.
I'm so
Are you
excited.
allowed to talk about it yet or not yet?
I mean, it's a film. We already filmed it. It's called Son of Sardar. It's a franchisee, a Hindi movie franchisee that's
Okay.
coming back after 12 years.
Oh, wow.
And the first one was really funny and super famous and super, super popular amongst children. Now, all those children have grown up.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
after like 12 years, we are bringing like a second
That's cool.
part to the film. Like it's an independent second part. But I'm so excited. Like I got to play comedy this time. So I love what I do. I really, really do. It's fun.
It seems like it. And I can tell you love it. Like you are brighter than I've seen you. Like you
Yeah.
are so bright right now talking about it.
She is, though. She is sunshine. Anytime
Yeah.
she walks into her room, anywhere she
But as
goes.
soon as
But
she just started talking about how much she loves
Yeah.
it was like up another
Yeah,
level.
kind of. It's like a little lighter than like, us killing ourselves in narcissism. I'm just saying, like, in the scope of conversation.
Oh my gosh.
It's a bit lighter.
she's like, it's, definitely something I like doing.
We are complex human beings. There's a
other times.
spectrum of emotions.
But okay, so is there anything that actually what challenges you the most? Like in a role or in life even?
I think fear is a good challenger. Like, for example, when I know that I have nerves, just before going up on stage, or even just sitting there, talking
Yeah.
myself back and forth. We don't know what
Did you
we're
have
gonna talk
nerves
about.
before you came on to do
Yeah.
this?
Really?
You always do. You always say, no, how could you have nerves? But
Yeah.
I was having
But I didn't think you'd have nerves for this. I thought you were just like, yeah, I'm ready to go. You know?
No.
Cool.
I think everyone does.
I
Yeah.
think,
No matter
I think
what
when
you're
you
doing.
care about something a
Yes.
lot, it's the nerves.
Yeah.
When you want it to go well, when you want to give it your best.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's this element of just you being a human being in the process.
Yeah.
And being able to recognize that and move on. I think that is special to be able to do that. What challenges me, I guess, is like, am I going to get the rights? Am I in a place where I truly believe the voice that's within me?
Wow.
Like to tell this part, to tell this story. I think we all deal with imposter syndrome at some point or the other. And I think for me, I've not really suffered from that because of my large personality. But when the more inward I go, it's interesting to watch how these insecurities can surface up. So no, I'm not someone who's not got any insecurities. I just know how to mask them well, I guess. And now I'm learning how to not mask them and be more true to myself and
like
lean into that feminine spirit of mine. Lean into like places where I feel like, hey, you don't have it together. And I don't think any character that's written and that goes on to do well is a character that's flat.
Right.
Yeah.
Like plain white, plain black. I think there's so much boredom in that. And it's like really like the shades of I love you. But you anger me.
Yeah.
You enrage me. But gosh, I want to bite you. You understand the
Yeah.
contradiction
Yeah.
of like being able to play
That's so
that.
true.
Yeah.
I like to see that challenge. Like challenges help me move forward. I'm cognizant of that. They
Maybe
don't.
that's why villains are good.
Yeah, because I'm trying to give the most human part to the viewer.
Yeah.
Because in that person's head, in the villain's head, they're just a hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why is a hero that is a good guy widely accepted, but the bad guy is not accepted? But there is a deep story there.
yeah.
Hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's definitely
True.
something more vulnerable beneath that character. And to be able to pull that out and show the audience that while still making them hate this person,
Yeah.
that has got to be a complex and beautiful thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
That is such a challenge.
I could see.
I love that. I love that. But I also like playing cute characters because then
Have some lightness between.
just give me lightness.
What's a cute character you played?
Ria is a very cute character that I played. Javani Jani.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And that's one of the. I never usually talk about that
Yeah.
part, you know. And everyone's just like, "Oh, you're so bold, madam." I'm like, "Yes, I'm very bold." But I'm also vulnerable, guys.
Wait, okay. So I want to also talk about a little bit about your manifestation journey because I know that you believe in it. You've written down certain things and you've made shit happen. I've seen it firsthand, right? From hosting to now being this huge sensation in India. Like we go to any event, and she was doing this at our wedding, by the way. She stood in the center and she's like, center, center, center. She was acting like paparazzi because she is the one that paparazzi just constantly, they're
Please, when
obsessed
she's
with
in
her.
Bombay, she gets that too.
But
I
But
know,
it's really
I've seen-
funny because then like she can only like notice when they say Natasha madam, right.
English, madam.
English madam. They call her English madam.
Oh my God.
Not even American, madam.
English madam. Like basically because she's like,
'Cause I'm white.
Oh yeah, I'm so grateful to be here this one.
LOL.
To all the paps and everything. And they were like, very nice. Said it. Wow, looking like a beauty.
That would be so overwhelming.
But this is Kubra's life. She walks anywhere, everyone knows who she is. Like it's crazy. And she's built this all on her own. Completely on her own. Obviously with people around her that have helped uplift you and been there for you, but you have fucking done it.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So manifestation, what do you believe that it truly was? How do you think you got here?
I just knew that there was no plan B. I just wanted to do what I was doing. And I did give myself like, oh, let's be reasonable. I'll give you 6 months. But I was so sure that it's going to work. There was this very clear voice in my head that said, you always wanted to live in Bombay. You should go there. This is the place. And I didn't know what's going to really come out of it. But I knew that I'm going to do something. And I will be known. And I want to be known. And I wanted to be known so that one day we would be having, a medium like this, where we will share with people that you don't have to be affiliated. You don't have to be wealthy. You don't have to, have friends. You don't need to know people. You will get to know people. You just have to know what you want. And this journey is a long journey, and it is a marathon. If you're trying to come in, hop, skip, and jump and reach the finish line, I think the more unique you are, the finish line keeps moving, And you don't want to just go and do that. Like, oh, yes, thank you very much. Sacred Games, everybody. Now I can go and retire. I don't know. I feel like I can work till I'm 90. I feel I can work till I'm 100.
Yeah.
Because you love it so much.
I really love it a lot. And I remember there's a very, very famous magazine, a film magazine called Filmfare in India. And when I started out my career, I purchased MediaNet, which was the back cover of the magazine. And I knew I couldn't afford to pay it all by myself at that time. So my brother and I shared the cover, even financially. And I remember my photograph, my brother's photograph, and I said, Kubbra Sait, I want to be famous. And I didn't know the difference between being popular and famous.
I'm so glad that you brought this up because I wanted to ask you about fame and your thoughts around it.
Yeah, I know. I was so shallow when I said I want to be famous.
Yeah.
I really was shallow.
Thank
And
you for saying that.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that, fame is just people knowing you.
Yeah.
No. I thought much later that it comes with responsibility. It comes with a voice. It comes with what you believe in. It comes with you truly shining inside out. And that is not just being, I have been popular. You know, I used to go in 200 people. I would meet some uncle, some auntie from that event at a grocer's or somewhere. Oh, beta, I remember you. I used to feel damn happy with myself.
Yeah.
Wow. People know me. But now it's the story. I don't physically need to be there
Yeah.
for my story to travel. There are people who've connected to some part of my life or some part of my work and say, oh, wow. And you're not there.
Yeah.
You now travel without you being there. I guess that is fame. And that is not an easy... I'm learning how to navigate with it.
Sure.
I'm still learning. Okay, it's very new and I love it. It's very humbling. I still get thrown, like, it just like startles me. I'm thrown back when I hear people coming and saying the most, like, some things that I haven't thought of, and that affects their lives. I know this happens to you a lot. Does this happen to you?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, like,
You don't even recognize what you said made that much of an impact.
Oh, yeah,
or
for
any
sure.
impact.
Yeah,
But that
somebody-
one little thing
Yeah.
that you did or said.
And it's
or-
the smallest thing. It'll be like, oh my gosh, I said to someone once, I remember this, that I liked her yellow dress. And since then she said, I never felt more beautiful because you said that to me. And I was like, what?
yeah.
You don't know the impact that you can create on certain people.
Yeah.
And that
It is
does-
much more than you.
Yeah.
This phase of your life is bigger than your existence. It travels beyond you.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned about fame today. And I wish everyone gets it.
Yeah.
If that's what they want.
Well, it's so interesting because the world we live in now, there was a social media documentary I watched a few years back, and they were analyzing or talking about this. Like, fame almost doesn't exist anymore because there's countless amount of people who qualify for the word fame. I mean, think about how many people on social media have over 1 million followers.
Yeah.
I've been in the beauty industry for a decade, and my job has primarily been in the influencer social media space. And yet I still, on almost a monthly basis, will be introduced to or come across a beauty influencer with over 1 million followers that I've never seen before. Never heard their name, never seen them. And so it just, like, it's so wild, this concept of fame, because so many people can have it now through social
Yeah.
media. And what does that mean? Like, does fame actually still exist? Or is there maybe like mainstream fame that is more, you know, mainstream movies and television? And I don't know. It's just, it's shifting very quickly because of social media, this exponential growth and exponential change that is happening through technology, and we're living through it. It's just so interesting to analyze all the parts and how it's impacting. But like you say, I wish everyone who wants fame can have it. And in a
Please
way,
have it. You'll just understand how much responsibility. It's like, you know, fame for me is like climbing that mountain, right? And I've climbed a few mountains. I've made a few summits in my life.
wow,
I'm just not speaking out of my ass here. Okay?
Yes.
I really
such a
have climbed.
cool hobby.
Yeah, she
That's
has.
badass.
I don't know if I want to do it again, guys. Like, really, this time when I did it after 7 years, I climbed Kilimanjaro just earlier this year.
Yeah.
All right, and
I'm not familiar with it.
it's a very tall mountain.
Very tall
It's
mountain.
big.
It's a very
That's all I
big
need to
mountain.
know.
Oh my God, it's in Africa. It's in Tanzania.
Okay.
It's one of the big summits of the world.
Okay.
So there's 7 summits. This is one of them.
Wow,
And I climbed this mountain.
badass.
Thank
I've
you.
seen it from far. That's it.
Yeah.
I looked at
was
it.
like, oh,
Oh, that's it.
nice fellow. So I climbed that guy.
Yeah.
I swear to God, you're walking for about 8 days before you hit the summit day. Yeah. For 7 days, I'm not joking. You're just walking and you look up this way and the mountain's right there. That's where you're going.
Yeah.
It's right there. And you can see it. And you're literally like, really? Can I not just run up this hill?
Yeah, like hurry up already.
Hurry
yeah.
up already. Like, I have to sleep for 8 more days in tents. And like I used to have visions of hugging my cats. because it was so
Oh yeah, you're
hard.
both cat
You're my
people.
people. You're my people.
Oh, by the way, I bought you both the same I love
Listen,
my
I have
cat
to take
shirt.
My cat,
I know.
I have my cat t-shirt.
I
too.
finally gave her hers because I got it so long
We're
ago.
twinsies.
Yes. No. So I need to take it before I go. Yes.
Which
I
was a
took
great
this
point.
jacket off, guys.
That's okay. We're very casual here. It's
like-
We
so
like to
funny.
do that.
After this probably happens to you too, but after working behind the camera or on a studio, where especially in like get ready with me's for makeup, beauty looks. Back in the day, everything was supposed to be like polished and perfect, almost like a movie. And so like the consistency was always really important. So like if someone stopped and we had to reload, but they kept applying blush and they came back on camera and they had like too much blush on. It's like when you watch a movie and they cut and the mug is like on the other
Yeah.
side of the
Yeah,
table.
You're-
I
yeah.
cannot watch TV without seeing these
Same.
things now. And it drives me
Same.
Can't see stuff
insane.
without noticing these things.
Yes.
Like what an idiot! He
What
took
an
off his
idiot,
tie.
you put your left hand out earlier. Now it's the right hand.
I like, isn't that a script supervisor team
Yeah.
that usually oversees those things? I forget. I don't know. But like I'm watching it and I'm just like, that rose has moved, and it just kills kills it for me. But here on this podcast, we're a shit show.
Oh yeah, we like it. Actually, a shit show is a great name.
What?
It's a shit
Welcome
show.
to the shit show.
Please,
Yeah, it's
somebody
raw
had a
and
production
real.
company called Garbage Films. I'm like, why would anyone watch your films?
Garbage films.
Yes. No, it's not a shit show. You're right. We
It's
keep
not
it
a shit
raw
show,
and
guys.
real.
A great positive.
manifestation. Remember, we just spoke about all
Yes,
of that.
that's true.
That's
true.
We want people.
Shit is
all
a
the
good thing,
elixir of
though.
life,
It
they
means we're
show.
okay. Well, I'll take it on a positive. Shit is good. It means you're cleansing out negative or toxins, right? So shit show. It's a good thing. It's a positive spin on our shit show.
We're getting rid of
We're
what
getting
we
rid of
don't
negative
need.
shit.
Oh my gosh.
Have you watched this movie Constipation, guys?
No.
It's not out yet.
Stop it.
Wait, do you know she starts her days
Stop
with a
it.
fucking Kubbra joke every single day on her Instagram? So
amazing.
that was a great one.
Thanks, guys.
Oh my
She laughed too.
gosh.
You laughed too.
I'm usually slow too. I caught that one right away.
I mean, it's so interesting. Okay, she has used makeup to say beauty is something that's enhanced, and it's from within. Now, interestingly, Sephora has been around for so long, and to be able to change the narrative that beauty is from within, because I believe makeup at one point was, I don't know, at least in my community,
Yeah.
and where I grew up, makeup was frowned upon. It
Yeah.
was something that you were concealing.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the truest part of you. I don't know what it is like growing up in the West to have access to makeup, but what was it like for you to change that narrative? Because I'm sure you put some strength into
Thank
changing
you.
that.
Yes. And that's
really
I think what
has.
we connected on is
Yeah.
the fact that we don't want people to feel like beauty is external. It should come from an internal place. Like the way she has worked with so many people, marginalized communities, and empowered them through beauty. And I think that's really powerful and what we connected on. But I feel like for me, when I was at Sephora behind the camera, I started to feel the weight on my shoulders because I was such a big part of what, I mean, I think our reach is like 40 million plus, something like that at this point between our platforms. And so it's like, okay, like I'm behind the camera making decisions about the content we're posting. I'm the one giving editing notes. I'm the one ideating content. I'm the one coaching talent. That's a lot of responsibility. That's a lot of weight on your shoulders. And seeing the beauty standards that have been presented to us our whole lives through media, through television, through magazines, I didn't want to contribute to that. And it kind of simultaneously happened with noticing how vulnerable content performed better and then thinking, well, that's amazing. Let's take that vulnerability and run with it. And then I can also change the perception of beauty and bring more vulnerability to the surface and talk about how beauty radiates from an internal place. And when you're creating your makeup look or whatever you want to wear, it's coming from a self-expression. It's not coming from covering up. And so that's something I talk about a lot. I have to check myself on is like, am I putting on makeup to cover up? and to feel more comfortable in my skin, or am I putting on makeup to express myself
Yeah.
and to enjoy the ritual of beautifying? And it's artistic, it's art, right?
It's art.
So like there's a really big difference there. And Sephora has been incredible. When I interviewed for the beauty director role, I said, I want to do this, but I need to make sure that you're willing to allow me to speak to this. And they were like 100%. And my team, I report into the external communications team, which is basically PR. And so I do a lot of press on behalf of Sephora. And this year, I have arguably received just as many, if not more, interviews based around mental health than I have just makeup and beauty itself.
Yeah.
And it goes hand in hand, but like the response has been incredible. And I'm just so grateful that Sephora was willing to go there because, you know, as a big corporation, it's a risk. You never know how people are going to interpret it and whatnot. But I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you
You did.
You did.
You did it. You answered
did.
really well.
But it
Yeah.
came from
it
a
went around this way
Yeah.
to get to where you are right now. So it wasn't easy.
no, and
What
it's,
is it inside you that keeps you going? So what is it that challenges and how is it that you overcome challenges?
Me
and
first?
through
You
it?
first? Well, me, it sounds very cheesy. I always say this, though. I genuinely get so much joy from seeing someone else succeed. And I don't mean this in like a Mother Teresa way or whatever, but even just if someone gets a job because I promoted them, you know, if I recommended their business, if someone buys a book that my friend is selling, or that's why my branding agency is called My Friends Brand, because I love promoting my friends. I love doing shit for people because I know what it's like to be in a position where I didn't have that help and I had to do it all on my own. So that's what brings me a lot of
People
joy.
Heal people.
I like that.
hurt people, heal people.
I
heal
really, that is so true. And that's been part of the healing journey for me because I wasn't always like this. I was jealous. I was negative. I was angry. I was a fucking angry person. And no one would say, of course, I still have bursts of anger sometimes, like we all do. But in the most part, when I am angry, I will look at myself and be like, what is your problem? Instead of being like, it's them. I'm like, it's me. I need to work on me. What do I need to fix? And I'm not shitting on myself. I'm not saying I'm an awful person, but I'm working on things on myself. So again, I also don't know if I answered your question, but I know that is what brings me joy.
Nice.
That's what brings me joy.
Yeah, I feel
Because
and-
it's so
and-
hard. It's so easy to get lost.
Yeah.
Because you're not having a paycheck day every day.
Oh,
Not
my God.
everybody. Like there's
Yeah.
so many people, like especially in the entertainment business, you've been around there for long. Corporate, you've been around there for a while.
Oh man, yeah.
Most of us end up doing our jobs and we say, oh, that was a thankless job. Marketing, a thankless job. I've
Very
heard it
much so.
a multiple number of times in my
Yeah.
life, right? And when it is a thankless job and you're aware that that's what you signed up for, how do you stay at the top of it?
Yeah.
So then to be able to do that, how do you do that?
What drives me? Oh, what drives me?
Yes.
What drives me? What drives me, at least in this moment, when I think the first thing that came to mind is imagining myself at like 9, 10 years old, maybe sitting in my bedroom, getting ready, putting on my makeup, because I wore makeup so young as a competitive dancer, especially, and maybe even beyond that too. But looking in the mirror and just melting down. I would be getting ready and I would have anxiety attacks because I felt like I didn't look good or I wasn't good looking enough. And I'm sitting there doing my makeup and trying to cover up a zit. I grew up with acne. A lot of my friends will be like, your acne wasn't that bad, but I always had it and I was so fixated on it. And so what drives me is really not wanting any other child. I was a child that should have been living life freely, enjoying the nature outside, running with my friends. But I was so hurt and in so much pain around something that I shouldn't have been, especially at that age. And what a waste. And so I just want to be the person that I needed when I was younger to say, none of that matters. You're more beautiful without it. We're all more beautiful without makeup, in my opinion. I think makeup is amazing, and I find it so artistic. And I know I actually know people where makeup has saved their lives because it was such so important to them and such a therapeutic process and so on and so forth. But we need to talk about it more. We need to break down those beauty standards and expectations. We really need to stand up to this AI and filters that are going to be happening where young children don't know the difference. I mean, kids are literally like 7-year-old kids are going into any retailer and they're trying to buy retinols and AHAs and anti-aging. They think they need anti-aging products.
Yeah.
And I'm just, no, I just can't. Like, I can't sit here and be a person in the beauty industry and not try and do something about that. Because I was that kid.
My God, the challenges increase every day. Wow.
Yeah, we're up against a lot. And a lot of what we like to talk about on this podcast is like digital boundaries and how important that is as it relates to your mental health.
Australia has banned Instagram for anyone who is below the age of 14 or 16.
Wow.
I like that news.
You're supposed to be, if I remember correctly, you're supposed to be 13 in the US.
But you cannot have social media.
I wonder if they
It's
verify
illegal.
it somehow. Because I know in the US, like, I think the age is 13. You're supposed to be to use Instagram, but so many people are on it that aren't. So I wonder how they enforce that.
Anyone can just make an account though. I feel like.
Yeah, but maybe they verify it through like ID verification or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
We'll have to look into
they
this.
do.
Yeah.
The idea is that
Yeah.
a government made like such a big announcement that it is illegal
Yeah.
for children to be on social media. I thought it was a blessing.
Yeah.
Just like, even like if you're not in that country, you had your head turned for a split second.
Yeah.
And you said, oh, really? That's good news. I don't have children. But to know that there is something out there, there are people like you who care out there, there are people like you who care out there. I know that the world is not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that hopeless.
There's a lot of good.
There is a lot of
We just
good.
get fed a lot of the bad.
We just get fed a lot
But
of
social
the
media
bad.
is a
And
huge-
yes,
yeah.
I understand your challenge every day to fight that, and it is getting tougher for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up here, we should ask you the same question. What drives you?
I just remember that I have to feed 2 hungry cats.
That you don't even understand how much she feels that in her heart.
My fiance is always like, I'm doing it for the cats. We got to give them a better life.
I show up every day.
Her cats gets portraits done of them. Like there's
Bust my
like
ass. I go through this cycle of intolerance and living in the patriarchal world for my cats.
Oh my God, I love
sexy
it.
and shifu.
Sexy and
Aren't they
shifu.
earth angels?
They really are.
They are magic.
Mine is so I got a new cat. She's like 1.5 years old. She's sexy. I swear to God, she gives me the mortal fear of just life itself.
Oh my gosh.
Because she's just like so reactive. And I go like, oh wow, this is you. Learn something and don't be like her. She's here.
Oh my God, that's
living
hilarious.
life. As
Yeah.
Like I remember I got her and I really didn't think she's gonna jump out of the window. I live on the 10th floor.
Oh no.
She keeps jumping out.
She's so annoying. She
would
keeps
just
doing
keep
it.
jumping out of
Come
the
on,
window.
girl.
And she would like sit on
Oh
the.
no. She's okay though.
Yeah, she didn't die. If you're
Oh my
asking.
gosh, how scary.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But I did put a
Yeah,
mesh.
no, we've
Okay,
we've
good.
made.
I did protect my cat.
yeah.
No one's allowed to smoke at home or anything.
It's
Oh
so
my gosh.
funny though. But she would like literally like like flame the fire off.
Do you ever just sit and trip out and think about like the past lives you might have had with them and like who they were? I do that all the time.
Okay. Not that level of clairvoyance, okay? Not there yet.
I'm too deep. I've gone too deep.
You're too deep. Although I did hire an animal whisperer.
Oh girl, I've done it once before too.
Okay, what did you learn from your both animal whisperer
Then
moments?
I was anxious, man.
Mine was no bueno.
What was yours?
No.
It was no good. I don't.
Oh no.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. I just don't know that I trust that she actually had the gift or not.
Well, that's because you were clairvoyant too. So you're like, I could
It
see.
just didn't feel. It didn't feel true. Did yours feel true?
No, this was a very interesting outcome. It made it to my book. See, I'm telling you, I really sat and thought about this shit. So Shiva was very, very sick. He was extremely sick. And I didn't know why he was sick. And I was rushing him to the hospital every 3 days. I was in the clinic. I used to rush him every day. This was not the time that I've spent with him. I've not given him that attention. And I just felt like he was squeezing so much of my time and my energy. And finally, I took him to the docs, and the doc said, okay, you know what? We don't understand what the problem is. Best way out, let us go out there and cut his stomach.
Wow.
And check what's inside his
Scary.
intestines.
Yeah.
I've never approved an operation before in my life.
Yeah.
And anything can happen.
Yeah.
And I've never done this before.
Yeah.
And to be responsible for another person's life. Now, this person is pet. I get it. But still, person.
Part
Another
of the
soul's
family.
life, very
Yeah.
big responsibility.
I agree.
And just to commission that, yes, him going through the surgery, coming out of the surgery to learn there was nothing in his intestine. You know, that is when I felt I'm doing something wrong. I'm consciously doing something wrong. I need to go deeper and figure this out.
Interesting.
So that's when I spoke to the animal whisperer.
Oh.
And she interestingly said that Shifu is fine. He's absorbing your negativity. If you want him to heal, you need to heal yourself.
Oh my God, that hits.
That hits, man.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why you need to do things that you usually don't do.
Yes.
Like how you said, I tried all the prescription medicines. I gave everything a chance to know it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Please go out there, get that fame, get that money, see what it does to you. I think everybody should have access to everything.
Yeah. We learn through life
We
experience.
So
learn
true.
through these shared experiences. Like
Yeah.
I remember losing my mind in July earlier this year because it was the first time in my life that I took birth control tablets. I had never taken birth
They
control
made me
pills.
clinically depressed. It was horrible.
And imagine, from India, so I'm kind of spoiled given this situation right now. So I didn't even administer those tablets to myself.
Okay.
I asked my help to administer them to me. I didn't realize that it goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday.
Every day. Yeah.
And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. My help was giving me Monday, Wednesday, Sunday.
What? What? Dude, Rati. Oh,
There were
God.
2 Thursdays in a week. There were 4 Fridays in a
Such
week.
a brat, Kubbra. I didn't even take my own
I was off the freaking... I was bouncing on walls, man.
Oh man.
I yanked my toenail out. I had bouts of anxiety.
Oh,
See,
no.
today I can laugh about it.
Yeah,
I
it was
promise
horrible.
you, God, I was the worst person to myself
Shit.
and to everyone around me.
Oh, that's
I
what it
believe
was. I'm just kidding.
Listen, I was going Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That was my week of birth control, okay?
Dude, how?
I don't know how I did it, but it
Okay.
didn't serve me right.
Gosh.
It didn't serve me right.
God bless you. I hope you're
It was so bad.
Oh my God.
But I'm saying, please try everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Please give. And I was so upset that my girlfriends never shared this with me.
Go live.
They should have told me.
Well,
Monday,
I
Tuesday,
didn't
Wednesday.
know. If you told me I don't know how to take my birth control pills, you know what I would have said? I also don't take it on time, and so I don't take them anymore.
I don't take
I
them.
never took them anymore. I
Congratulations
just
on
couldn't.
your wedding. When's the baby?
And it's also like, just to say, like, it's also women's health. There's not enough research, information, conversation.
True.
So
We're open to doing all this and talking about this because
Yeah.
people need to
Please
know.
talk about it.
Especially
I really
in
didn't
India.
know how hard it is.
it would be great to have
And when I
like, a
told my
women's health
girlfriends, they said,
expert.
"Oh, it's
Let's do it.
normal."
Yeah.
Like when you said, you know, it gives me clinical depression.
Yeah.
You seem to have some weight to this. It wasn't like, yeah, it's normal. Everyone's depressed on it. Like, why
no,
can
no.
I be depressed?
My roommate at the time, it had happened to her.
I just want to get pregnancy, not
Yeah.
my brains.
It's no. I know. And they don't like, it's ridiculous.
No one talks about this shit, man.
No one talks about this shit,
got-
especially in Asia. Especially in
Please
Asia.
stop.
I got off of it, and literally like a week and a half later, I remember calling my friend and just being like, I have been a completely different person. Sorry, I haven't talked to you in like months, but can we please go out? Like, I feel normal again. And I was so confused. And it was just like that. I was like, oh my God, it was the birth control. And like, and
Wow.
on that note, I feel like we need a part 2 with you. at
Yes.
some
So
point.
crazy. We spoke about so many things.
You need to fly here again.
I know.
Please. And
Yes.
I will bring you more shoes. Told you LA is magic.
LA is too chill, man.
Yeah.
So funny, it's not. You should see Nashville,
chill.
Tennessee.
Chill.
It is like so slow
See, we
compared
have
to
in
here.
Nashville, Tennessee, back in our country. We just
We don't go there either.
Of course, I feel you. I
we
feel,
like.
I like
the
it.
LA,
She
we
lives between the two.
Bombay.
LA is my home. I love it so much here. Like I like the experience of being in Nashville, but I'm with you. This is
this is
I want
me.
to be in the center of it all.
I think what I learned more about myself while living in Bombay was like to not submit myself to the energy of the city, but create my own rhythm.
Yeah.
And I
Ooh, I
guess
like
once
that.
you figure that out
That's very
in LA
good.
as well, which is what you have done.
Yeah.
That's very good.
It's so true.
Which is why y'all are successful living in a city that feels so unattainable.
Yeah.
Like to
I
the
mean-
world, LA is like the epitome of global domination.
It's
Mumbai
true.
is domination as well, but it's different domination.
Yeah.
This is somehow different domination.
Yeah.
And to be able to have your rhythm, because it's not possible that you are able to thrive without that.
It's still a struggle though. It always is.
100%.
It never goes away, right? You always have to keep yourself in balance.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're talking about it with that simplicity, because people think once you're healed, man.
There's
But
no-
it's not like buying that shoe.
No.
You have to break into that shoe as well.
There's no finish line.
There is no finish.
Literally, your entire life, you're gonna die, and you're never gonna reach a finish line. And we just have to be okay with that.
Yeah. You have to enjoy the process.
Yeah, I think I'm beginning to do that. Every day.
Good. I'm glad.
Well, we're gonna go into the other room, and we're gonna ask you what makes you feel the most vulnerable.
Come on, let's do it.
But before we do that, where can our guests find you?
Oh, thank you. Yes.
I'm on Instagram. I'm in my house.
And she's with her cats.
She lists her address.
My address is. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Threads. Everything is. I'm on Facebook. My mom's on Facebook too. It's KUBBRASAIT. I am spelled with a double B. You can find me, and that's easy. And then we'll stay in touch. Please do write to me. I am one of those few people who actually go into requests, check
I
requests.
do too. As much as I
I found
can.
you on the requests.
Did you?
Yes.
And buy her book, Open Book.
And please buy my book. It's
Yes,
called
I can't
Open
wait to
Book.
read it. What a great name.
Yeah.
If you like green lights, you will really like Open Book, guys.
I did.
That's a
Matthew
you will really
McConaughey's?
because what
Very
I
good.
enjoyed most about Matthew McConaughey's book
Yeah.
was I had an insight into who he is
Yeah.
through the way he speaks.
Yes.
And when you read the book, it's exactly the way he speaks.
Yes.
So it makes it so relatable.
I
You're
lis-
like, oh, he's
Exactly.
sitting in my.
I listened to that one on
You can
tape.
hear it. And you can hear it from yours
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You can hear
And
your
that's
voice.
why I like about like the way Open Book is written as well. And I wrote it, which is why it's like I've written it.
I love that.
I love
So
that.
please
I'm so
read the
proud of
book.
you. Thank you for being here.
I
Thank
love
you.
you. I love you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Okay, let's go confess. Let's go confession. What an incredible episode. Incredible, especially for me because I chat to Kubbra on a daily basis. So I know everything that's going on in her life. I know what drama she's dealing with, what challenges she's dealing with, what makes her happy. But to see this today and to hear it from a different perspective also was just so wonderful for me. And I do think that this is a very different podcast to what she's done before, or because she really got to get deep and vulnerable.
I saw her like getting excited about it when we were
Yeah.
filming with Danielle. Like she was like, I was over there, like,
Yeah.
you know, like I could. It's so cool to be able to unlock that for people.
Yeah.
because I think deep down, everyone wants to be vulnerable. Everyone wants to connect, but it's fucking scary. And if you don't have a safe space or you haven't done enough work, like, you know, and I'm honored
Yeah.
to be able to have created that space for her when she's done so many interviews and she's been in the limelight and that hasn't happened, like, which just blows my mind.
Yeah.
But
And you know, it is what something that a lot of guests say. This is what a lot of the guests have to say in common is that when they do come here, they're kind of shocked at the fact that they can be so open and vulnerable. Like they come in with the expectation of, yes, okay, I'll be raw and real.
yeah.
But when they actually sit on this couch and they get raw and real, it changes them as well, right? It makes them feel like, oh my God, I have the opportunity to be myself and to be seen in a way that I want to be seen.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Yeah.
So
Her book is called Open Book. It's a memoir. I cannot wait to read it. It sounds incredible. Please check it out. She mentioned her platforms as well. Please give her a follow. She's incredibly talented. I've seen her acting. It was so powerful, and I love seeing her as a villain like she was talking about. So be sure to check her out. Let us know in the comments what you think. We'll see you on the next one, I guess. Bye.
bye.